Hi, this is Jared Polak, founder of Entre Results, author of Entre Balance and Entre Business, founder of Entre Results Academy, back for another dynamic podcast. Listen, today we're going to talk about the power of significant conversations. Now, the ability and the skill set to have effective and significant conversations, it becomes even more and more important every single day as we grow as business leaders, sales professionals, as the times have changed with kind of an upswing of the millennial generation, these conversations become even more and more important. And when I look at a couple different groups of people, you really have one group of people, and this is a more minority of the group. Some people are good at initiating these significant conversations, but there's bad tact and there's poor delivery. Now, a second group of people there's just a fear, and they're really not good at initiating these significant conversations. And so let me kind of take you through some things to think about in regards to significant conversations as we go through this podcast. I want you to think for yourself, are there some significant conversations that need to be had in these different areas? And then what would be the difference that would happen if I did have these conversations? What would be the benefit for everyone involved? So number one, when we look at business, is there a significant conversation that needs to happen with a prospect? Maybe there's a prospect that's been dragging her feet or dragging his feet for a long time, and there just needs to be a conversation that's significant about, are they going to move forward or are they not? Sometimes there's fear that holds people back from having that conversation. Maybe there's a client where you and the client are sort of moving not quite on the same page. And there really needs to be a significant conversation to get you guys back on the same page. But for whatever reason, that significant conversation has not happened yet. Same thing with a team member. Maybe you aren't on the same page with a team member, or the team member has done something that is negative or hurting or harmful to the other team members or to you or to the company, and there needs to be a significant conversation. And it might be a small thing, it might be a large thing, but what significant conversation needs to be made? Perhaps the same thing could be applied to a vendor or anyone else in the network in which you work. Even going deeper, we think about life. We think about life outside of work. We think about family. Is there someone you care about deeply in the family that you need to have a conversation? Maybe they're tearing someone down. Maybe they're just negative all the time. Or perhaps there's an addiction that needs to be addressed or a major blind spot. Same thing with a friend. What conversations should we have soon? And so the first thing to do, I'm going to come up with some action steps, maybe 4 action steps of what to do in regards to these significant conversations. And certainly, these are things that we coach people on in a major way at Entre Results because they're so complex. And so it's hard to always succinctly describe this in a blog. But here are 4 things to think about. The first thing to do is stop and think and make a list of people that you need to have a significant conversation with. Maybe as we started this blog and this podcast, you've already thought through a couple people that jumped out at you. So make a list. Number 2, think about the desired outcome. Not just about winning an argument or an agreement. So, for example, some people know there needs to be a significant conversation, but even if you quote unquote win an argument or win a discussion, the desired outcome won't happen. So think about, what is the result you want? If someone is being very disruptive to the team, what is the result you want? Maybe not just putting people in their place or making them, it's what is the desired outcome? Make sure you have clarity on that before having the conversation. Number 3 to think about, have the conversation when emotions are not high. Now, it's just good for this not to be super emotionally charged conversation. So when is a time where you can have this conversation where people are in the right frame of mind, where they're more likely to be more receptive to this conversation. And number 4, if it's not an emotionally high situation, it's great if you can have the conversation in the moment. So for example, if someone says something that maybe tears someone else's down or is gossiping, or maybe you're in the moment with a prospect and they're kind of dragging their feet a little bit on making a decision, or same thing with the team member, if they do something in that moment, it is great to have that conversation in the moment. And you never want to challenge someone's intention, but you definitely want to challenge the thing that is being said or the thing that is being done. So it's great to have it immediately in the moment. That way it just doesn't drag on forever. That way it doesn't get avoided forever. And that way sometimes you don't hold it in and think about it constantly and it run over and over in your mind. You just get it done immediately. So those are the 4 things to think about. We can obviously go more deep with this, but the final thing, which is maybe even the most important when thinking about significant conversations, is do you, or do we need to have a significant conversation with ourselves? Is there something that maybe even other people don't know about that is a significant conversations that we need to talk to about ourselves? We need to confront ourselves. We need to have healthy conflict with ourselves to address something in our own life. Deep, powerful, significant. Go out and take action on these significant conversations today.